Hello, and welcome to Turn to Your Doom, a choose your own adventure podcast where we explore the many paths and meet the many ends of a choose your own adventure book. Today we are continuing with Escape from the Haunted Warehouse, written by Anson Montgomery, and illustrated by Keith Newton. And with me is somebody who's just like, this summer job has gotten real weird. Art.
Hi. Yeah, I don't know if I can go to anyone about this. It's a little weird. Someone tried to kill me the other day. I feel like that's against the rules.
Yeah, I feel like that's not OSHA compliant. Everything else, it'd be so funny if this job is completely OSHA compliant. Except for the ghost. I'm being joined by Orange Boy today. He won't contribute anything, but he's here as moral support. Hi. But yeah, we're going to be continuing the Haunted Warehouse. We went down one line of the tree last time. We're going to try and go down the other line. There are other branches too. There are a total of 14 endings for this book. But I like the other one. It went in a direction I was not expecting.
Yeah. I feel like the modern ones.
I also
the
really
more modern ones, I don't want to say that the old ones don't play with the stuff as much because they obviously do. But yeah, there's just something real fun about the new ones. I don't know if it's just because it's like modern sensibilities or anything, but yeah, there's something different about them.
Yeah. Also, Anson Montgomery is just really good at writing like kids and teenagers.
Yeah,
I feel like he also wrote the Punishment Earth book, which we also really like. And his dad is R.A. Montgomery, who wrote some of the older
the Punishment
books.
Earth one was like an older one as well. And
yeah,
it was an older one, and like he did a really good job.
When was this one first published? Oh, 2015. Okay, so this is a newer
this
one.
is like Choose Co era 3 or something. Like this is is like they decided to like just go with the original name instead of like going like which way or choose this thing or
U Ventures. Yeah.
So
I saw the cover for the original Return to the Cave of Time, and it looks so much better than the U Ventures one. It was also very expensive because I think it's a collector's item.
A lot of the old ones or the
ones that haven't been like republished or
the
updated.
ones that are liked, I should say, are considered collector items now, and collectors are fucking crazy. So
but so we'll be continuing with Escape from the Haunted Warehouse. For some background, we answered a ad in a newspaper. We needed a summer job. Basically, we're moving boxes from one part of the warehouse to another part for like staging purposes is all we really know. We're just gonna skip to the first decision, and we're gonna take the path that we didn't last time. So we heard a howling scream from behind a door while we were moving stuff around. And we had the option to go get Mr. Grady, who's like our supervisor. Who I kind of love. Him sleeping like face down in his office was pretty iconic. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Because you are working a night shift as well. You're working like 10 to 3 a.m. or something like that. So we had the option to go get him, which is what we did last time, or we could break down the door. So we're going to break down the door this time, which means we have to go to page 20. Oh yeah, this is different. All right. Pushing the trolley out of the way with all of your strength, you slam your shoulder against the door, but it doesn't break. You try again, and while it rattles in the frame, it holds firm. Wiping your brow, you look at the Beware unit, which is your, basically your, like, pallet lifter kind of thing that you're given to move stuff around. Of course, you say out loud to yourself. Using the beware as a battering ram, you get some speed and smash into the door. The door splits into two, but beware gets lodged in the opening, blocking your way. It takes you a minute or two to pull it back out. Meanwhile, the screaming doesn't stop. It gets worse. You crawl under the broken door into the dark room where the noise is coming from. Taking out your phone and putting it into flashlight mode, you look around. The noise is coming from the corner of the room, but it's empty. All you see is a large utility sink and water streaming out of the faucet. But maybe there's an animal trapped in the sink that is making the noise. Approaching the sink cautiously, you're ready for a trapped rat or raccoon to snap. You shine a light in the basin, and all you see is the water swirling in a whirlpool down the drain. Aroo! The sound is coming from the water as it drains out of the sink. Turning both knobs, you shut off the water and relax as the scream stops when the last of the water empties. Yeah, last time it was it was one of those ventriloquist dummies holding a knife that was screaming.
It wasn't.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's just a doll with a knife.
Yeah.
Nothing weird. Sitting down on the floor with your back against the wall, you wonder how you'll explain the broken door to Mr. Grady, but you were relieved. The screaming was nothing bad. Taking a few deep breaths and gathering yourself, you look around the room. Dirty laundry is heaped in the corners, piled in wheeled baskets. It looks like mostly sheets and towels. On the far wall, shelves are stocked with detergent and other cleaning supplies. Nothing too unusual. Then you look at the door. Since you broke only the bottom part of the door with the trolley, the top part of the door is still closed and intact. The manual sliding lock is still in the locked position. The door was locked from the inside, but there's no other way out of the windowless laundry or storage room. How is that possible? Okay, don't get freaked out, you say out loud to yourself. Then the pile of laundry in the corner starts to move. Backing towards the broken door, you are actually relieved when a huge rat with glowing red eyes scuttles out of the dirty sheets. It scurries up the wall and disappears into a black hole nearing the ceiling. You move towards the pile the rat crawled from and pull off the top sheet. You jump back and give a little scream when you see 4 rat pups searching for their mother. Is this little babe? What are you doing? A voice booms from the darkness behind you. Another little scream escapes from you, and you swing around and aim your flashlight up. Your boss, Mr. Grady, squints back in the bright light. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, he says. But why is the B-200 powered hand truck smashed into the door? I heard something screaming in here, but it was just the sink's drain. And then I found rats. Baby rats there, you babble, pointing. Grady laughs a sharp laugh. Oh, the haunted sink! I should have warned you about that. It makes quite a racket. Certainly unnerving, I know. Well, no help for the door. We'll have to pull out a replacement and leave a note for the maintenance crew. As for the rats, he says, striding to the wall and flicking on the lights without looking, we'll need to put out poison, unfortunately. I've been meaning to deal with that, but it keeps slipping my mind. Which would you like to do? Go get the poison or the door? The poison bucket is heavy, but it's just down the hall from the locker room. The replacement door is in the Dahmer Annex on the far side of the property, he says, pointing to one of the windowless walls, as though you could tell where he means. These hollow core doors are light enough for one person to carry, no problem. Not like a dead body. Grady laughs again, as if at a joke, but you don't join in. If you choose to go get the poison bucket, turn to page 46. If you decide to go and get the replacement door, turn to page 102.
Let's get the replacement door.
Okay, 102. I went right past it. Okay. I'll get the replacement door, you tell Mr. Grady without much enthusiasm. Lugging around a bucket of homemade poison doesn't sound fun or safe. Great, I'll show you how to get there, he says, pulling a facility map out from his pocket. Even after 2 months, you haven't been in most of the building. And even those you've been in have lots of rooms you've left unexplored. You're still nervous after the moaning sink and the rats, but a little excited to see more of the unknown parts of the complex. First, go out to the loading area, then across the parking lot to the storage facility. Take this key, he says, removing a large green key from his enormous key ring. And remember to leave a note for the maintenance crew about the door. You don't want them thinking something broke in and stole it. Why aren't there security guards here? You ask, having an opportunity to find the answer to a question that has built up in your mind. It seems like there should be, as there is a lot of expensive equipment around. There isn't even a guard at the parking gate, just a combo lock. Well, we've never had much trouble with people trying to break in here. Most people seem to avoid this place naturally, Grady says, looking straight into your eyes. You should get going. We still need to get the night's work done. The summer night air is moist, and the stars are covered by a thick layer of clouds. A strange hint of the moon, vague and dim, gives you a little light as you leave yellowish glow from the loading area. None of the other buildings are lit up with activity tonight, and you feel lonely as you walk through the dimness. You turn on the flashlight on your phone again, and you near the Dahmer Annex, but now you only have 22% of the charge left, and the flashlight drains it quickly. You find the maintenance shop door and open it with the large green key. From the light of your phone and the glowing red exit sign in the far corner, you see all sorts of materials. Cans of paint, brushes, workbenches, and a large variety of bladed tools are strewn about. A series of scythes from handheld to enormous are lined up on a bench with a range of sharpening tools scattered around them. That's not concerning at all.
No.
Just a bunch of scythes and sickles.
Well, you have to do a lot of cutting
out
of fields in this warehouse.
Yeah, we're not allowed to buy like an actual lawnmower, so we have to use a scythe to cut the lawn. You make your way to the back of the shop and find another door with building supplies written on it. Hopefully this is where they keep the doors. Opening the door, you hear a shuffling noise in the blackness. Anyone there? You ask in a thin voice, fumbling with the phone. You find the light switch and turn it on. Rows of windows, boards, latches, knobs, sills, and doors are stacked neatly in shelving. Moving forward and a bit more confidently now that you have found that you were looking for, you head towards the particle board doors. Putting the phone away, you turn to your left and freeze. A little girl, maybe 9 or 10 years old, is looking up at you from the back of one of the shelves. Her legs are pulled up in her hands, and you can tell she is trying to hide from you. Who are you? What are you doing here? You ask her, trying to calm her and yourself. The last thing you were expecting was a 9-year-old girl in jeans and a red sweater. You're not going to tell on me, are you? She asks. Who are you? You repeat, reaching out your hand. She backs away from you, answers in a small voice. I'm Mary. It's okay, Mary. Why are you here? Where are your parents? They're dead, she says, closing her eyes and scrunching away as far as possible from you. Don't tell on me. What, that you killed your parents? Tell on you for what? You ask gently, leaning in towards her. You hold your hand back, not wanting to startle her. Don't tell, I'm warning you, she says, opening her eyes and leaning at you with a grimace on her face. Where did you come from? Why are you hiding in here? I'm looking for the door out, but this room doesn't have a door out. It's just a storage room. You have to go through the workshop. Stupid silly, she says. I'm looking for the way out, not the way back in. I need to find my mama's ring. What ring? My mama's ring. I just said that. Will you help me find it? It's here someplace and I need it, she says like she's going to cry. Please help me find the ring. Look, it's 2:37 in the morning, you say, talking as you take your phone out of your pocket to check the time. You should be at home. Even if your parents are dead, you should still be at home. Yeah, what do you say to that? You should still be at home. What's your phone number? I don't know, Mary says sulkily. Look, you say, tired by the whole night and exasperated by the girl. I have to get this door back to the main building. Why don't you come with me and we'll find Grady and... No, 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 she shouts, shaking in her little hiding spot. You said you wouldn't tell. I have to turn to page 91. You're not sure what to do. Mr. Grady is waiting for you to come back with the door, and you still have the rest of the boxes to move tonight. We really don't have time to deal with this hiding kid in the middle of a crazy warehouse complex. Where did she come from, and how did she get here? The door to the shop was locked when you got here. What should you do? Really, you know the right and proper thing would be to take her back to the main building and call the police. You would use your cell, but the whole area is a big dead zone, and you have to use the landline in Grady's office. But she seemed to get scared when you mentioned Grady. Maybe you should just help her find her ring. And if you don't find it in a few minutes, you can take her to the office then. If you choose to help Mary look for the ring, turn to page 38. If you tell Mary that you won't tell on her, but that you need to call someone and let them know where she is, turn to page 120.
Let's do the first one.
The first one? Yeah. Help her find a ring. All right. Oh, I turned straight to page 38. You promise that you'll help me find my mama's ring, Mary says, inching slowly out of her hiding spot. She looks up at you and suddenly seems much older. She's not really just my mama, you know. She's the mother of us all. All who, you ask? Are there other children in the warehouse? Some, Mary answers, as well as those who are no longer children. We're all ages, I guess, or any age. Okay, you agree, not knowing what she means. But I have to get to work, so sooner we find this ring, the better. Where did you last see it? It's in a box, and the box is supposed to be in this room. It is a special box, made out of sandalwood and cedar. Let's get searching, you say, wondering why you agree to this. She seems so persuasive. You search the whole workshop, but come up empty-handed. Really, you search. Mary just watched you and pointed out things to move. The only place you didn't look is a drawer below the bench, locked with a simple combination lock. No dice, kiddo, you say. We need to get out of here and find someone to come get you. Please just try the locked drawer, she pleads. It has to be in there. It's locked for a reason, you counter. Please, implores Mary. She starts to cry. I'll never be able to rest, ever. None of us will. Just try it one time. I may know the code. I just want the ring back for a second. You can put it right back, please? Okay, you say. I'll give it one try, but no more messing around after that. You need to get to bed. I long for rest. Use 9696 in the lock. It is the same from up or down. Mama likes that. You put the combination in, and the lock springs open. Inside the drawer is a wooden box in the middle of the wicker basket. A peaceful smell pours into you. Gently, you pick up the box and open the lid. Inside, on a bed of purple velvet, is the simple ring made of jade. Even in the dim light, it glints with a green that draws the eye to its never-ending circle. Oh, Mary whispers, Mama's ring, it's so pretty. You pick the green ring up and examine it closer. But before you can react, Mary puts her thumb through the ring, and a flash of green light from the ring makes you blink. And when you open your eyes, Mary is glowing with the same green light. She smiles. Thank you. Now I can rest, she says, and then slowly fades away. The ring drops back into the box, and she is almost invisible, just a hint of an outline left, when the door slams open and Mr. Grady rushes in. What have you done? Mr. Grady bellows. Mary, what have you done? You can barely see it, but Mary smiles wider and sticks her tongue out at Mr. Grady and fully disappears. You, Mr. Grady yells, pointing at you. You are in very big trouble. Mary is irreplaceable. He is so angry. You've never seen him like this, and it is scary. He looks like he could murder you right now. His hands clench and unclench. He steps towards you, growling a little, and then he begins to fade away, just as Mary did. Mr. Grady stops and looks at his fading hand, and then the look on his face changes from anger to terror. No, he moans, and you hear the faint laughter of a young girl as Mr. Grady dissolves. Then the shop slowly dissolves around you. In just a couple of minutes, you are in a normal, well-lit parking lot by a small, very normal warehouse building. The whole complex is about the 10th of the size of the warehouse that you entered earlier tonight. Completely by itself, your car is the only one in the parking lot. You get in and drive home. The next day, a package arrives. Inside it is a small white box. Inside the box, on a cushion of white satin, is a crystal ring. The ring is perfectly smooth, and you feel protected when you wear it. When you look at it, when you took it to a jeweler, she offered you $10,000 for the ring, even though she did not know what it was made of. You politely declined. The end.
Are you not going to get paid?
So we have to ghost. Yeah, do we get our last paycheck? Like, do we have to come pick it up, or are you mailing it to me, or
like I don't want to be like I don't want to be like that person necessarily, but you did do the job. You should get paid for it, even if the job doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, you were there for like at least like 6 or 7 hours, so yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So if we do the other option, which is you tell Mary that you won't tell on her, but that you need to call somebody to let them know she's here. It's on page 120. There we go. I'm sorry, Mary, but I need to make sure someone responsible comes to get you. I need an adultier adult.
Yeah.
You say as gently as you can, reaching out your hand to take hers. Mr. Grady won't hurt you. You'll see. Fool! Mary spits out, her face turning ugly. Before you can react, she lunges forward and bites you in the fleshy area between the thumb and forefinger.
Ew.
Ow! What the fuck?
Ah!
You feel her teeth tearing into your hand and the pain is overwhelming. What the fuck?
Ah! That's a nice meaty part, too.
Snatching your bleeding hand away.
Okay.
Rude. Snatching your bleeding hand away from her mouth and stumbling backwards, you watch as Mary runs to the door. She stops and turns to face you. Your blood is all over her chin. You should have helped me, she screeches. Now you'll never forget Bloody Mary. After 4 surgeries on your hand, you get most of the functionality back. Each time you see the scar, you think of that night and how your world changed in one instant. There are no mirrors in your house, and you avoid looking at windows as much as possible. Anytime you look into something reflective, a scowling, bloody-faced image of Mary peeks at you from the edges. No one else seems to see her, but you do. Are you insane? You don't think so, but still, the end.
Yeah, that is...
Rude. I was going to say, that the recovery for getting that kind of an injury in that spot on your hand is like very extensive and hurts way more than the actual injury. Ow. Okay, so we're going to go back to the first decision we made, which was poison bucket or door. And we decided to go get door. So we're going to go get the poison bucket this time. Page 46. Take the master key, Mr. Grady says, with a strange intensity, handing you a silver key with a gold finish on the head. The letter O is stamped on it. It will open any door in the complex. Do not lose it or allow it to fall into the wrong hands. I want you to put a scoop of poison in each of the rooms in this building, except for the forbidden room. Don't go in there. It's clearly marked. And there are things that could be unhealthy for you if you open that door. Okay, you stammer. What's in there? Why does the key have an O on it? The O is for original. And there are delicate experiments going on in the forbidden room. What else? Mr. Grady laughs. Don't go in there. He hands you the key, and it is oddly heavy for its size. Poison. This job stinks, you think to yourself. But out loud you say, Don't worry, Mr. Grady. I'll get the poison, and I won't go into the forbidden room. Great. I'll go get the door and come right back. You take the key and find the supply room. A bench of sorts holds scales, beakers, test tubes, and bags filled with powders. There's a chemical odor in the air. This should be called the forbidden room, you mutter to Beware. In the corner is a 5-gallon bucket with a skull and crossbones and the words rat poison written on the lid in red marker. Scooting down the hallway with the Beware cart and the bucket of poison is more fun than you thought it would be. You make good progress as you move through the warehouse. Taking the scoop, you put some of the blue pellets in the corner of each of the rooms, trying to put it in a place where rats would be likely to scurry, and where people would maybe not notice it. Most of the rooms are pretty ordinary. You glance over ordinary boxes, labeled things like Castle Financials, 1592 to 1648, or Artifacts from the Mary Celeste, Captain's Log included. There are stacks in neat rows. Some rooms don't have boxes at all. One has racks and racks of gowns and dresses. They look pretty nice, but you suppose they would need to be if they were being sent for a movie production. A number of them are torn or stained. The strangest room of all has all sorts of masks. Some of them are just party masks of animals like wolves, birds, or cats, or simple face coverings with holding sticks and feathers. But some are hundreds of scary masks on foam heads. Zombies, ghouls, ghosts, aliens, and tentacled monsters stare at you with empty eyes. Feeling a little creeped out, you dump a scoop of poison in the corner and get out of there as quickly as possible. Your bucket is halfway gone, and you have been to most of the rooms in the building, as far as you can tell. You were careful to skip the forbidden room, which is very clearly marked. You pushed back the desire to take just a quick look inside. You pause in front of a door that is labeled Animal Control, authorized personnel only. Mr. Grady did tell you every room, but you still consider skipping it. Without conscious thought, you find yourself opening the door anyways, and you immediately regret it. A huge dog, like a wolfhound, but even bigger, is gorging on a large piece of meat in the floor. It looks up and stares at you with glowing eyes. Its muzzle is covered in blood, and you freeze. You see what it's eating, and it looks like one of those haunches they feed lions at the zoo. Why is the dog eating it in the middle of the room? Gobbets of bloody meat are scattered all over the floor. Cages filled with cats, birds, and screaming monkeys line the wall. You see a cage with the free dog's twin, and next to that, a cage with its door bent. You have to get out of here. The dog rears and leaps towards you, growling, and you try to escape and slam the door behind you, but the dog is too fast and powerful. You push the beware cart at the dog, but the animal jumps over the cart and escapes the room. The dog knocks the poison bucket over and spills the blue pellets all over the floor in the hallway. You run back the way you came. Right in front of you is the red door of the forbidden room. You still have the master key in your hand. Looking further down the hallway, you see a ladder reaching up to the ceiling. If you can make it there, then the dog wouldn't be able to climb after you. You hope. It's only about 15 yards away, but the dog is coming at you quickly, and low growls are coming from its bloody maw. If you decide to go into the forbidden room, even though Mr. Grady specifically warned against it, turn to page 74. If you try to make a run for the ladder, leading away from the bloody dog and unknown risks in the forbidden room, turn to page 85.
Let's do the ladder.
All right. Get a bookmark there.
Which works multiple ways, because 85. I was talking about the ladder, but also if you, the way we say T's in English, vernacular tends to put them as D's. Okay.
All right. Without pausing to think, you sprint for the ladder, hoping that you will make it before the dog catches you. You start climbing, but in your haste, you slip as you reach for the rungs. Banging your head against the metal of the ladder, you turn to see the dog has nearly reached you. With a burst of fear-inspired energy, you grab the rungs and pull yourself up the ladder. Once at the top, you pause in the darkness and look down. The dog is going nuts. It is jumping and trying to climb the ladder itself. It makes it awfully close to your peering face. You can smell the blood and wet fur of the barking animal. You see the keys below the dog. You must have dropped them when you climbed up. Backing away from the opening, you take a look around. You are in a cramped access area above the ceiling. The only light that comes from the cracks in the ceiling from the rooms below you. Maybe the dog will go away, you think to yourself? Hopefully. But the crazed animal keeps leaping and barking. Surely Mr. Grady will hear and come looking? You wait for a while, but no one comes. You decide you must find another way out, and you turn on your phone to use as a flashlight. You have to hold it in your teeth and crawl through the cramped access area. You try to head in the direction you know the main office is in, but the metal supports you are climbing don't lead that way. Sorry. Following the only path, you calm down a little bit as the sounds of the crazy dog become fainter as you move away from it. You are thinking about trying to pry open a part of the ceiling just to see where you are when you see the head of a second ladder poking up at the far end of the corridor you are in. Crawling as fast as you can, you get to the ladder and scramble down it into a storage room. The room is tiny, with coiled ropes stacked all over the place. Most of the ropes are thick and made of natural fibers, but others look like professional rock climbing equipment. There are 2 doors, one an emergency exit labeled with "Alarm will sound" warning, and an ordinary-looking metal door. You try the metal door leading in, but it is locked with a combination lock. You have no choice except to use the emergency exit and sound the alarm. You wait a moment before taking a breath and pushing the bar. The door opens much more easily than you expect, and you fall forward, realizing that you really are falling. You hit the dirt below with a hard thump, and your phone flies out of your hand. Its light shows the emergency door about 5 feet above where you landed, closing with a click. "This is stupid," you shout as you slowly get up, wiping the dirt from your mouth and picking up your phone. "Who makes an emergency exit that opens up 5 feet above the ground?"
Also, point. 5 feet above the ground is like an insulting amount of like height to fall from, because it's like just enough to break a limb,
yeah,
but like you're not likely to do so. So if you do break a limb, like I'm gonna probably be like, well, why didn't you just, like, I don't know, reach out and stop yourself? Or
yeah,
that's insulting.
Like, it's just enough to like hurt you, and maybe hurt you seriously. Like at the very least, it'll hurt.
But like,
once
it's not
you hit
enough
the
to like be like impressive at all. Like, it's like when a skateboarder falls, like falls over and like somehow shatters their entire leg. But like their friend just jumped off a fucking like rooftop and like landed a trick and like fell off and like nothing happened. You know?
Yeah. It's like one time my cousin broke his leg skipping rocks.
How do you do that?
He twisted
How?
It.
No.
He twisted it. I know. He twisted it in a way that broke it.
I know, like, I wouldn't accept that as an answer. I'd be like, no, you're lying. You're absolutely lying. You're doing something else.
No, I told him, I was like, you just say something else to people.
Like, you need to, like I broke my leg skipping rocks.
So
no, you didn't. You broke your leg jumping off of a bridge or something.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, say you were in an accident. I don't know. Like, when my grandmother broke her hip falling off of a curb, but she's an old lady.
Yeah, no, like, it's okay to lie.
He was like, he was like in his like mid to late 20s when this
like
happened.
It's okay to lie about your injuries if it makes you look like a lame baby.
Exactly. I was like, just say literally anything but what actually happened.
Like, rule of cool also applies for real life if you can get away with it.
Yeah, which, like, nobody's gonna question you if you just say, like, I was in an accident or something like that.
Like, I fell off of a motorcycle or something. Like, come on, lie, please.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's what I told him. I was like, say you fell off of a motorcycle, because I think he had one at the time. Like, yeah. Don't say you were skipping rocks.
God damn, like that. You might as well just say, "Oh, I broke my leg while licking a lollipop" or something. Like, come on.
I was catching butterflies.
I was petting a cat and my leg just snapped in half.
I was eating ice. I was eating ice cream. Oh my gosh. Okay. You realize that it is really cold and your stomach tightens. Where are you? It feels like it is below freezing. It was hot and humid when you came to work, and now it's cold and dry, making you shiver. You are in a gully, with the building taking up one full side of it. The emergency door is the only break in the wall of brick, blocking off the whole area. Dark trees hug both sides of the gully, blocking any way towards the rest of the building. Shivering, you turn around. All you can see from the light of your phone are the twisted dark shapes of the trees and the black chunks of rock. The wind makes the trees in the distance sway with an eerie rhythm. Jumping up to pound on the door warms you a little, and then you realize no one is going to come get you from the warehouse. You have to get out of here, wherever here is, on your own. The gully pushes you away from the warehouse, and you are glad to go away from it. But the forest is dark and foreboding. You have never felt more alone in your life. The rocks are covered in soft green moss, but are sharp nonetheless. There are so many fallen trees and clumps of rocks that you spend most of your time climbing or crawling. Soon you are completely disoriented, with no idea which direction the warehouse is. Your phone only shows 8% of a charge, and the flashlight app drains it quickly. The only good thing is that the wind has died down. It is really cold. Your breath is visible, and when you breathe in, you feel the cold deep in your lungs. Even without the wind, the black trees in the distance still sway. The only good thing is that you have a pack of matches in your pocket from dinner. Your mom likes candles at dinner time, and it's your job to light the candles. Thanks, Mom, you whisper. What if you never see her again? Your phone goes to 7%, and you turn the flashlight off, waiting a few moments for your eyes to adjust to the night. You open them and see nothing but darkness. Nothing. You can't see anything without the flashlight. It is cold and your light is running out. Maybe you should start a fire and wait for the morning? That seems like a reasonable idea. Warmth and light are good things to have, but part of you screams to keep moving. You are familiar with the area of your town and the warehouse is in, and you don't recognize any of this. The further you can get away from the warehouse, the better. Crazy dogs, crazy Mr. Grady, crazy forest. You just want to get home. What should you do? If you decide to stop, make a fire, set up shelter, and wait for the morning, turn to page 52. If you decide to keep going through the forest to get as far away from the haunted warehouse as possible, turn to page 108.
Let's go out in the middle of the woods alone, because that's never caused a problem before for anyone.
Yeah, never. All right, 108. Running as fast as you can in the dark forest, scrambling over boulders and falling on the tree roots and branches. You get as far away from the evil exit door of the haunted warehouse. How could you have been so clueless? Everything was creepy from the first day. Why did you take the job? Why did you stay? You ask yourself these questions as you keep your mind from dwelling on the horror of your current situation. Wham! You whack your head against a solid branch and twist your ankle in the process. Lying there in the dark forest with your head throbbing and your ankle sending its own flares of pain, you feel very sorry for yourself. After a moment, you pull your phone out from your pocket. It isn't broken, although what's left of the battery is 2%. Now is as good as time as any to use the last bit of juice. You turn on the flashlight and you inspect your ankle. It's not broken. Even though it hurts, it makes you feel better. Your head stops hurting quite as much and you look around you. A skull in a rotting hoodie grins at you. Jerking away, you realize you are tangled up in the bones of a skeleton whose skull stares at you. That's when your phone completely dies. Everything goes black. Okay. I'll come back. I'll get my pay that is due, you shout into the deep blackness. Lifting yourself up, you continue on. Thirsty and exhausted, you see a dim gray of dawn, only gradually. But slowly the greens of the dark forest grow out of the blackness. You follow the rays of the weak block sun and finally reach a road. Picking a direction more towards the light, you walk on the side of the road. The forest thins a bit and you come to the backside of a brown sign. On the front is a bunch of Japanese. You think that you can't understand, but the other side is in English. A quote from Thoreau about the thought of dying without having lived. I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach and not. And when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. A man and woman dressed in a park ranger or police uniforms drive up in a small car with lots of stripes and insignias. They pull over and offer you a ride. You must look like you need it. They take you to a small brown building, hand you a cup of noodles and a pamphlet. They give you solemn looks and speak to each other quietly in a foreign language. The front is in Japanese, but the next page is a rough English translation. Aokihara Forest. Please consult the police before you decide to die. Lives are precious. Do not end yours. You will hurt the loved ones left behind. Please enjoy the forest and the caves, but do not end your life here. If you find the remains of someone dead, report to the station. There is a picture of of a happy couple exploring a cave amidst the green, moss-covered forest. All you can think about is the skull staring at you. You've heard of this place, and you know where you are. You are in Japan, at the base of Mount Fuji, in the middle of the suicide forest, a place where people come to die. The people who rescued you think you came here on a mission to end your life. How could you possibly explain to them that you were actually just trying to complete your shift at your summer job back in the United States? They would think you were crazy. Maybe you are. You laugh and drink more of your soup. The end.
At least you got soup, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I hope you got paid again, and don't know who you sue necessarily. Don't know if like the NLRB would be able to like do much in the situation.
Yeah.
So supposedly this was a well-paying job too. So don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like
it does exist in physical space. Like you were able to go there like through like ordinary means. So like someone must be responsible for it, right? But it was
like you have been working this job for a little bit, so there must be some kind of payroll.
Yeah, you got paid. You got paid.
Even they outsource
so, like, there is payroll. And like supposedly, like it sounds like it's a W-2 job as well. So like they also had to pay taxes on your behalf as well. It'd
be so funny if you get home from showing up in the suicide forest in Japan and you finally take a look at one of your paychecks and it straight up just says Haunted Warehouse LLC or something on it. You're like, ow.
But like, does Bloody Mary and like Elizabeth Bathory get paid?
Yeah, or I don't think you can pay people a room and board. I don't think that's legal anymore.
I don't think you can unless they're related to you. I think if they're related to you, it's a little different.
I think it can be part of your contract.
But it has to have a monetary value behind it.
But you also have to get like a and I think you have to also get a paycheck in addition.
Yeah, they could take money out for room and board, but they can't just pay you room and board.
Or like a stipend. Almost.
I really hope
spending.
I don't know, who would you sue in this situation?
Sorry, I'm just imagining Mr. Grady handing Elizabeth Bathory like, here's your paycheck for the month.
He has to go be like, hey, Bloody Mary, here's your paycheck. I want to kill you. I don't care. Here's your paycheck.
I don't care. Here is your paycheck. Spend it however you like. She goes on Amazon. She's buying check the English dictionary.
Even better. She's going on eBay and trying to buy as many haunted rings as possible to see if she could free herself.
I love that idea.
Like, and it's just filled. Like, there's so many eBay packages, and be like, I guess you live here.
She has created a whole. She's created a whole industry of haunted
people are putting fake
eBay.
Haunted rings because they know they can make money off of her.
Oh my god. Because, how would you check?
They're making sure they priced it just enough to where they make a profit, but they know that she'll buy it. Because they can see which one she doesn't buy.
I love the logistics of a haunted warehouse.
Do you think Elizabeth Bathory would bathe in the blood of piglets? Because they're technically virgins. Like, could you do that? That'd be a lot easier, I think. Like, I mean, how far... I feel like this is like the same question about like how many steps between you starting something and it killing you doesn't count for suicide. Like, the Rube Goldberg suicide machine. Like, I feel like it's the same for like how far away from human can you get that is virginal could you get for Elizabeth Bathory to maintain her internal youth.
Yeah. Are we working on like Christian virginal rules? Or are we working on like extra virginal?
Are we working on? Are we like also? Could someone be born again and they born again, quote unquote? So they are now virginal again. They're.
Oh my god!
Could you show the light of Jesus to like an old woman and then drain her blood? Like, even though she has, like, 60 children.
Yeah. Do a quick
and
baptism.
And also, what type of baptism does it do? Does she have to do, like, the more, like, Baptist style, where, like, you have to, like, you know, there's a lot more rigmarole, or is it just, like, you sprinkle a little holy water on someone?
Yeah, and I think it's... I have an uncle who's a born-again Christian, and I think it's pretty easy to join. Well, the thing is,
like, I'm technically, quote-unquote, saved by Southern Baptist beliefs. I'm quote-unquote saved. I laid my life out in front of Jesus, and I felt the sin, not the sin, but, like, you know, the light of Jesus inside my soul. Even though I feel like that was more like, religious mania at the time.
Trauma.
You know, but...
Yeah. Is Southern Baptism one of the ones that, like, you have a spot in heaven?
I'm technically, like, if they're right, like, I get to go to heaven, even though I'm not a good Christian. But I have a spot in heaven. I can't, like...
Damn. I was raised Lutheran.
I don't have to do, like a Southern Baptism is, like, you don't have... It's not based off of works. It's based off of if Jesus, like, you know, came to you and found you wanting. I mean, didn't find you wanting. So...
Dang.
No works of service.
Dang.
Acts of service.
I was raised Lutheran. Yeah. Yeah, I was raised Lutheran, so we gotta work for that.
Really, you chose wrong there.
You gotta be a
piece of shit your entire life and be like, yo, Jesus, like, as a Southern Baptist, and, like, you know, last second, like, get into heaven, by, like, you know, praying real hard. So,
damn, yeah, centuries ago, when my ancestors converted to Christianity, they really should have picked something
technically
different.
Not only do I have a spot in heaven, but, like, all the sins that I was doing, it's supposed to make my life hell on earth, which, guess what, feels bad. I feel bad a lot of the time, so maybe they're right.
Damn.
Yeah, like, my punishment is supposed to be I don't have as good of a life on earth, but I still get the stuff. So yeah, which, you know,
God
what?
Damn.
Good on you, Jesus. I guess you're correct. I'm gonna enjoy the really boring heaven when I die. I guess.
I wonder if Jesus is in the haunted.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Are there any Christian relics in the haunted warehouse?
The foreskin of Jesus is definitely there.
The real veil of Turin. That's how Elizabeth Bathory gets her thing. That's how she finds the workaround.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Is there anything else? Feels like we're about done.
Nope. We are at the end of that path. There are some branches off, but it would take too much time.
Are they worth talking about, at least, like, briefly?
No, they don't really look like it. I kind of checked them. The showing up in the suicide forest is honestly, like, the punch in the gut.
Like, you
kind of,
like, I mean, like, you almost Logan Paul'd yourself there, you know? Almost.
I know, fine.
Although, for going to the suicide forest and, like, meeting someone who did kill themselves, then going home and having soup, I mean, I feel like you got out, you know, fairly okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like he was pretty deep into the forest, which Aokigahara is a very, like, deep, thick forest. There's a reason why people go there and they don't find their bodies for a long time.
Yeah.
It's very uncharted. But yeah, that was just a couple of the paths of Escape from the Haunted Warehouse. I like this book.
Yeah, I like it.
It's pretty spooky.
Don't know what else to say about it. I feel like we've already said everything. Really, that, like, it does a really good job.
Yeah,
I think
Anson Montgomery is one of those names we got to look out for some more.
Yeah, I just I feel like I need to remember to get. I'm gonna put that in front of me right now. But I need to get the multiversal sister thing.
Oh, yeah. My sister from the multiverse.
Multiverse's sister is actually a light novel that you think is going to be, like, not perverted, but it actually is about the little about a sister complex, and you're just like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do this?
Why?
At least make her, like, a different race, and also not you wait a couple seasons before you say that you liked her a lot. Like they did in The Flash.
Okay, this has been Turn to Your Doom, Escape from the Haunted Warehouse, and remember, always make sure you get your last paycheck.
Also remember that if they don't give you their last paycheck and you do have to sue them, they also have to pay extra fines on top of that. So
Yep. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Good night, Mr. the Missile.